I'm going to be finishing up my makeup for a funeral this morning that I'm attending. And speaking of funerals, I wanted to go over a story about makeup and funeral and death. I am a registered nurse and I practice hospice nursing for a long time. A quick story. I was getting a report for a patient that I was going to be taking care of for the night. At that time, I worked the night shift. This patient had just been told that she has cancer. And the nurse who was giving me report was just letting me know how, of course, she's very distraught over the news and that I was going to be, dealing with that for the night and how that would be somewhat challenging. And I remember that night, as usual, I would go to work. Of course, my makeup, I would always, do my makeup impeccable, even though I was going to work, because this was me. Makeup was pretty much my life. So I wore it wherever I'm going, even if it's to go to work. And I remember that night I had on a blue eyeshadow. It was like it was like a royal blue, one of the colors was like a royal blue. And I was wearing that. And so I'm going to be putting on my foundation. I'm trying on this new foundation by Clé de Peau. Clé de Peau is a Japanese skincare company, but they've been around for a long time. Here I was. I had my blue eyeshadow on. I was trying to get like a superhero. I'm trying to get everything I got in me to go and be ready to confront this. And I remember I walked in and I went to the patient and she saw me, and the first thing she said was, she says, "Oh my, I love your eyeshadow. It's beautiful. What color is that?" And here I was kind of like all ready to deal with this, the cancer diagnosis. That's where I was. And she was like, "I love this color. What kind of blue is this?" She goes, "I love makeup. I usually have a whole lot of makeup on, but as you know, I'm here in the hospital." She goes, "As a matter of fact, I was on my way to work, and I felt this pain, and I said, let me come to the hospital, and I came to the ER, and then they kept me, and then so here I am." She said, "But I love this blue you got on." So I had to do like a whole 180 to respond to this, because I was all in the space of, you just been diagnosed. And now she was talking about my blue eyeshadow. Of course, we talked about the blue eyeshadow. And then she said, like I said, she said, "Oh, I usually have makeup on, and I don't have makeup on today because, I'm in the hospital." And, this was what set the tone for our conversation about the cancer. This set the tone for our conversation about the cancer, right? So what a great way to break the ice for something that was like so difficult to talk about, if you can understand. And what that actually did, not only that day, we talked about, of course, what was going on with her, the diagnosis that she just got, everything, but it also sets the tone for the rest of the time she was in the hospital. Unfortunately, she did die in the hospital a couple of weeks later, but I work nights about, 3 to 4 times a week. So I saw her pretty often. And even when she wasn't my patient, I would just still stop by and say hello and visit her. And when she was, in the dying process, when she was like no longer able to speak, I would come and visit her, and I would say, "Oh, it's me." And she said, what color eyeshadow do you have on tonight?" So it really, it was a beautiful moment. It was a beautiful moment. And it taught me a lesson. And the lesson is to show up the way you are. Show up with who you are. Don't try to show up. Don't try to be something you're not. Show up exactly the person that you are. It taught me a great lesson. I was already the person, again, like I said, who wore the makeup no matter where I was going. And And I knew some people were not like me, right? Some people didn't wear blue eyeshadows to work. But it taught me a lesson. Show up who you are, because you're always gonna be, you're always gonna need to be who you are, no matter what the situation is. This is a pretty light concealer I'm using, so I'm going to be using a darker. This is a Lancome concealer. What is it called? Tint IDOLE. This is Lancome Tint IDOLE Ultra Wear Concealer. So that certainly taught me a big lesson about makeup and dealing with the dyeing. So equally, going to funerals, I always do my makeup, impeccable makeup, because you just have to show up as you are, no matter where you're going in life, because that's who you are. Now, does that mean I never, there's a day I never not wear makeup? No, but it means I don't have conception of there is a place I can go, and I can't wear my makeup. I need to go without makeup or something like that. I don't have that. Now, if I can go, but it's not because I don't think I can't wear my makeup. That's why I'm not wearing makeup. So what usually happens is I probably decide what type of makeup, what type of colors do I want to wear, how do I want to show up, but not wearing makeup is not part of it. I like this. This concealer is really good. It did a great job covering my dark circles, which is mainly around here where I have my reader's darkness. I call them reader's darkness. This is, I wear readers, you know, being 60 years old, I don't have perfect vision anymore. So this is why I have to put on my concealer and make sure it covers my reader's darkness. So that story stayed with me a lot, and it's the same thing. Even in funeral, people want to look their best in funeral, even though it's a sad time, but people still want to look their best. So people, but now it's no longer an issue as far as people wearing makeup going to funerals, but before it was, but now it's no longer an issue. So I did my concealer. I'm just gonna go over my brows a little bit. Now, doing your brows, as you get older, one of the problems with your brows is, of course, you no longer have a full brow like you used to when you were younger. The brows are not full anymore like when you were younger. So you do have to use a brow pen, a brow pencil, or brow pen to fill them in. I find that this brow pencil that has a fine precision are easier for me to use, both because my vision has decreased, of course, and then so I rely on touch. I rely on touch to actually do a lot of things. And so this brow pencil by Jane Iredale has a great precision. So it has precision control, which allows me to get to my brows. So the next, I'm going to do my blush. I want to do a purple color. Yes. So I like to wear purple and black to funeral. It's also a traditional, it's a cultural thing as well, because in my culture, purple, there are certain colors obviously that you can only wear going to a funeral, and purple is one of them. So purple, black, white is what are colors you can wear to a funeral. So I don't like to wear purple clothes to a funeral, but I will wear purple makeup. You can also wear nude, obviously, but I like to wear purple makeup. I like to leave the purple for the makeup. So I wear purple makeup, like a purple lipstick or a purple blush to go to funerals. So today I did the today I do the purple blush. A little bit of loose powder. So obviously funerals are part of life. Death is a part of life. So why not be beautiful, right? Why not be beautiful for a funeral, or even to go to work to see your patient who's probably going to be, you're probably going to be dealing with some sad information, sad news. So I'm going to do under my eye with the powder. So on my channel, follow my channel because I talk about makeup, I talk about skincare. Obviously, to look like this at 60 without any surgery, I did a lot of taking care of my skin in terms of skincare. Skincare was just as important as makeup for me. And I say that because makeup also helps you keeping your skin great looking. Because if you're wearing foundation, and if you wear great foundation like this Clé de Peau foundation, it does protect your skin, right? It does protect your skin from the elements. Especially I live in the Northeast, so you're talking about the harsh weather. So makeup does help with that, giving you're not using cheap products. You're using very good products. Like I say, this Clé de Peau foundation, which is very, very, very expensive, at least for my budget, but it has such great skincare ingredients in it as well. So it's sort of like a 2-in-1, because contrary to what people may believe, they might say, well, what's the difference between an expensive bottle of foundation versus a cheap one? Well, usually the expensive products, they tend to have skincare ingredients in them, although today that has become more of a common thing. But in the past, speaking from my years past, expensive makeup had skin ingredients that were expensive. So having a foundation on for 10 hours, for 12 hours during the day, it's a good idea for you if you're going to wear foundation like for that long, that you would put on something that definitely had skincare ingredients that was going to protect your skin. So that was another reason. So let's do my lips. I still don't know what color I'm gonna wear, but so this funeral that I'm going today, this person, they're in their 60s, and this is a colleague that I've known for a long time. So I'm 60 years old. So you start going to funerals about your colleagues, your friends, once you hit the big 60. I'm gonna go over a little bit with a pencil. So now once your lip is lined like this, the way mine is right now, this is when you really want to make sure you choose the right lipstick. I want to do nude, so I'm going to put on just in the center. Yeah, this is what I want in the center. Okay. Perfect. No more than that, and then I'll finish this up with lip gloss. I want to just that perfect pout of nude. That's it. That's just what I wanted. So this is how you want to show up to your friend's funeral. I don't know about you, but I want to show up like that to my friend's funeral. Yep. And right here on my nose. And that's it. Now I'm just going to use my setting spray and then we're done. So should I do anything else to my eyes? I don't think so. I did my mascara already. So I think we're good. What do you think? I think I'm ready for the funeral. Putting on some jewelry and then I'm ready to go. Why don't I go put on the jewelry that I'm going to wear? It's probably going to be something, I'm thinking already it's going to have purple in it. So let me go find something and I'll be back. And voila. I'm wearing this purple earring. Can you see it? I'm wearing this purple earring. So this is a perfect touch to the black and the purple, which is traditional. Like I told you, these are the colors that we wear for funerals based on my culture. So this is a perfect, so you're not gonna have any head turns. You know, in certain culture, funerals can be, you know, the place that there's a lot of head turning because either you're wearing the wrong color and then you show up at the funeral with the wrong color. Yikes. So this is a perfect touch and my face is already, as you can see, my setting spray is done, is dry, and I have the perfect lip the way I wanted. And voila. Thanks for watching. My name is Aisata. I'm 60 years old, and thanks for coming along in this journey of my makeup for the funeral for today. See you next time. Subscribe to my video for more tips on makeup and skincare for mature skin. Thank you.